St. Paul is writing a letter to Philemon or Philemon or Bob. I don't know how to say his name. And as he's writing him, it's kind of funny. You got to read it. It's a very short book of the Bible. But what had happened was Philemon had a slave who had escaped. And the slave was captured and thrown in jail. And he just happened to be in the same cell as St. Paul. St. Paul converted him. And they spent some time percolating in prison and formed quite a bond. And when the authorities were taking Philemon back to his master, he was carrying a letter from Paul that basically, in the sweetest way possible, said, "Really? Yeah? Do you really see a slave in front of you? Or do you see a child of God? And not only a child of God, but a child of God whom I love. And by the way, this is my favorite. Are you ready? You owe me." Yeah? I don't want to bring it up. He says already, I don't want to bring it up, but you owe me. Yeah. I thought of that a lot. And I thought of how often, like, Dad and I will be going somewhere. And, you know, Dad's 88, and he doesn't move very well anymore. And I, of course, move like a cat. But when we pull up to something, it's a race for the wallet. And I always win. Yeah? Dad, I'm getting this. And he always gets up to, "No, son, you know, I got this." And every time, "Dad, I owe you everything." That's what I tell him every time. "I owe you everything. I can buy you a Coke. I promise." Yeah? And it's a true sense in my heart that I feel all the time. And it's fueled by my memory of people constantly coming to our house and asking Mom and Dad for help. And there was this room that they would go in and shut the door, and us kids were to be quiet, right? Because they're in there. And I remember as a kid, and as I got older, me going to bed later and later and realizing he's still in that room. And there's a line of people. And then realizing he's going to be up at 4. And he's going to get up at 4, and he's going to go to GM. And it just blew me away to watch him just give and give and give. And I don't mean this funny. I mean, I never heard him complain. I complained. I was good at that. He never complained. And there are so many people who were dependent on his love, his guidance, and his help. I owe him everything. My first desire to sit and pray by myself in the morning was because, well, that's what Dad did, and I want to be like him. All of us owe. And there's debts of love. Most debt is slavery. But this kind of debt is so liberating. When you and I realize someone looked at us and went, "I'll sacrifice for that person." And I hope today we're grateful. I'm so blessed. I see our teachers here. I see Tom Maloney here, our superintendent of schools, and we were blessed to work together 10 years. And we owe these beautiful people as a parish family a great debt. They teach our kids. They sacrifice so that our kids can know Jesus and know the world he made. We owe. And of course, for our teachers and our administrators, you owe. You owe a debt of love. These beautiful people here give money to this church and this school so that we can operate. We have this beautiful mutual debt of love. And if we're not cognizant of that all the time, we will become complainers. We will become unpleasant and ungrateful. And this debt of love that we owe each other is all because of Jesus. Humans can't make this bond. A human bond is utterly breakable. A divine bond crushes death itself. We owe each other. We owe Jesus. And these are the best kind of debts, a debt of love. Let's spend our whole life trying to pay it back. Amen? Okay.
Let's rise and offer our prayers to the Lord.